I have a long-standing relationship with a number of construction companies, and one of my favourites was March Construction. March Construction had a large dredging gold mine operation, the largest in New Zealand. It's called Waikaia Gold. They have this huge barge which floats on the river, and it digs out gravel and it throws it into the back and it sifts through it and gold comes out. You know, they're finding gold. And this barge is huge. It's like, I think it was 370 tonnes. It was designed and built by some marine engineers up in Nelson. The downtime for the barge was close to $4 million a month when it wasn't in operation. What had happened was that the barge had come up to a point in the river where it needed to come out of the river, travel across land, and then be put back into the river. Because of the weight, there was concern that those box sections might crack when we took it out of the water, and when we put it in the water, if they'd cracked, the box sections would fill up with water and it would sink. And I forget how many $1 million it cost to build this thing, but it was significant. So I was asked to come up with a way that we could safely move this machinery. It was so complicated that in the end, designed some stands on top of which I put this giant big frame. Dug out an area close to the river. We floated the barge in over the top of it. Then we pumped the water out and the barge settled down slowly on top of this frame. And I had also graded an excess to come into the edge of this pond that we'd taken water out of, and was able to back in two very large trailers in under the frame. And then what I did was these trailers had jacks on them, so then I could lift the jacks up and lift the frame off the stands underneath. And then we had, I think it was 3 Kenworths to pull this thing out and up the drive, up the track, out of the river and then along the road. But we moved it, and we moved it down the road, and we put it into the water, and the whole thing went off without a hitch. When I first started looking at it, I was told that perhaps what I was doing was a bit overkill, but the frame was only about $110,000 at the time to build, and you got machinery of about, I think it was $7 or $8 million to build this thing. And I said, small cost to minimise the risk of damage to the barge. So we did it, and it all went off without a hitch, and it was put in the water, went back into operation straight away. There was no downtime, nothing. And so that was a really unique, interesting job, and one which was I needed to convince a whole lot of people that they needed to do it. And then the actual structural design in the end was actually quite simple, but the whole way to make it come together was quite complex. But it was all very interesting.